feel much more comfortable on water than on the land. There's a real oneness you get with you and your boat and your gear and the water and the fish and the wind and the waves, and not really something that you get to experience anywhere else. My name is Mark Holst. I was born and raised here in Sitka. I grew up fishing. I was born in middle of June as the season was starting, and my dad went out and set the crab pots, came back, and I was born, and within a few days later I was out on the water and haven't really been off the water since. My boat's a 42-foot hook and line. It's a nice ocean boat, comfortable to live on. The one thing that's always been very attractive about hook and line fishing is just the fact that it has not changed in the last 100 years. I'm literally using some of the lures, the spoons that I use are literally, say, 1921 on it. They were catching fish then, and they're still catching fish today. Dragging the same 4 lines and the same hooks, the same gear. When you've got a hook and you got one fish and you bring your fish in, and you can properly, very gently handle it. And it's versus a lot of other higher production fisheries that can be difficult on the fish. I've come to see the hook and line fishing as more of an art form than anything else. There's just a certain way that the fish like how the boat turns. They like the gear being run a certain way, and fish like to hang out at a certain depth, and that's a certain depth in different places, and you got to figure that out. And I've got certain hooks that work in some places and won't catch a fish somewhere else. And I've got colors that I like to drag in January and February that don't catch a fish in June and July. As far as the future of the fishery looks, I've always been very confident in it. Low quotas one year and then high quotas the next, and there's a lot of cycles you have to just work through. And I don't want to make it sound like we're standing still in time, but we kind of are in a way, in a good way. It's one of the last fisheries where a guy like myself can just buy into it and go out and catch some fish and make an honest day's work for an honest day's pay, make a decent living, and have a lot of fun doing it. As far as my relationship with the fleet goes, I've come to really enjoy the community of it. It's always fun to raft up at the end of the day and you talk about your fish and where you're getting them and what you're getting them on. And it's kind of like a mom and pop deal. There's a lot of husbands and wives. It's not something you see in the fishing industry everywhere. Well, the plan as of right now is to get married, have a family, and raise them all fishing just the same way that I grew up. That's something that I very much want to pass on to the next generation as it was passed on to myself.